information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband. He reveals that Meghan Markle married for money, that she planned it all from the beginning, and the vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew.
In a private interview in the US, the Duchess of Sussex reportedly called her relationship with an ex-boyfriend the biggest mistake of my life. That one sentence hit like a bombshell. Inside royal circles, phones started ringing fast and tension shot through the palace halls. At exactly 1840 UK time on February 5th, 2026, King Charles reacted, saying her words once again crossed the dignity and boundaries of the monarchy. King Charles did not sit back and wait. He moved instantly. After a classified royal briefing warned of a fast-growing media storm, the king personally opened a direct line to Meghan Markle. The issue? Explosive claims about a secret marriage involving Meghan and an American man named Joe Giuliano. The palace was told that sealed records from Bibb County, Georgia, dated 2011, were suddenly trending again across major outlets.
Threatened Joe to take to the court, fight him if he opens his mouth. Is that a possibility? Especially when Meghan was researching the prince online.
What I learned about myself is no matter what my name is or what people call me, I'm still the same person. So that didn't change who I am. And maybe that's probably the biggest distinguishing factor.
The briefing also pulled in the name of Toronto-based chef Corey Vitiello, Meghan's confirmed partner from 2012 to 2015. Old headlines were being recycled, timelines were questioned, and online forums were lighting up with theories. The king's order to his team was sharp and simple. Make contact directly. No spokespersons, no assistants, no filters. According to two senior aides present, the call lasted exactly 17 minutes and 39 seconds. During that tense exchange, Charles asked 3 direct questions. Had she ever legally married Joe Giuliano in the United States? Was any record sealed by legal requirement or personal request? And was her recent comment about Corey Vitiello part of a strategy to bury past history? Every second of that call carried weight. An advisor later revealed that while Charles kept his voice calm, his message was firm. He reportedly warned, "If what I hold is true, you will be erased from the royal record."
Being a part of this family and the platform that comes with that is an incredible responsibility that I take really seriously.
Since I started talking about Meghan Markle's marriage with Trevor Ingleson, a lot of people have pointed out that she was actually married before.
That single word, erased, sent legal teams scrambling. What could that actually mean under royal law? The possible consequences were massive. Full removal of Meghan's name, image, and titles from official royal platforms. Permanent exclusion from ceremonial roles. Revoking honorary military and civic patronages. Even stripping the Sussex brand of certain legal protections. Security arrangements connected to royal status could also face review. This was not small talk. This was institutional damage control. Then the situation exploded further. A private audio clip from a Los Angeles studio surfaced online. In it, Meghan reportedly referred to Corey Vitiello as a mistake from the past, a chapter that should never have existed. The recording, dated February 3rd and captured by sound technician Dominic Travis, was later sold to a Canadian gossip blogger for $18,000.
And if Meghan Googles herself as much as we know she does, she will not be happy with them.
Meghan, you can't build an empire when you're burning through your architects. No amount of branded coffee or curated glossy Instagram posts can make the instability.
Within hours, it spread everywhere under headlines like "Erased and Denied Meghan's Hidden Toronto Years." By 1400 GMT on February 5th, online searches for Meghan Giuliano marriage record and Meghan Corey-Ello had surged across major platforms. More than 1,200 headlines were already circulating worldwide. Royal monitoring systems flagged trending phrases such as fraudulent biography, marriage record seal, and Toronto relocation timeline. The palace treated it as a level 3 institutional reputation risk. According to Windsor media compliance sources, attention quickly shifted to Meghan's time living in Canada from 2012 to 2015. During that period, she was in a confirmed relationship with Corey Vitiello and reportedly living in a midtown Toronto apartment connected to his business address. But questions resurfaced about a sudden trip to New York in August 2015. After that trip, She reportedly ended the relationship and cut ties with her Toronto circle.
More trouble for Meghan Markle launching her lifestyle brand. As Allison Hall reports, the new name she's chosen,
And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been.
Another amazing friend who we've never met, but who believes in us and wants to.
Then, on February 4th, Corey Ello posted a black and white photo of the Toronto street corner where they allegedly once lived together. And the internet read between the lines instantly. The caption read, "The truth never sleeps." Within 24 hours, that post exploded, reshared more than 600,000 times. Suddenly, old legal filings from Canada and Georgia were back in the spotlight, and Palace advisors reportedly moved into full legal review mode over every U.S. document connected to Meghan Markle before her engagement to Prince Harry. Internal papers show that by 2000 GMT on February 5th, Charles's office had already opened preliminary talks with the Home Office and the Department for Digital Culture, Media, and Sport about possible revocation of formal status. That is not routine paperwork. That is high-level damage control. From Montecito, Meghan had not released a public statement.
So is that a good thing for you in a way that there's so much interest in you?
No, there's definitely not a good thing. The people I feel most sorry about are the trolls who their hopes are just built and built and built. And it's like, yes, 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 yes. And then it doesn't happen.
Meghan Markle, yes, she is so deceptive. She's such a liar that when she got married with Joe, she did not tell him.
But insiders claim she instructed her legal team to prepare aggressive media positioning and potential injunctions over what she views as misrepresented claims about her private life. Behind the scenes, lawyers were reportedly lining up fast. At the same time, the Archewell press team was tracking every mention of Joe Giuliano across US and Canadian media. Royal sources stressed that the situation was being handled with constitutional urgency. If any confirmed omission or serious misrepresentation tied to her entry into the royal family were proven, it could trigger a rarely used permanent removal clause, a move that would wipe her name from official royal archives and future historical references. That kind of action would be historic. Dubai was never meant to be a quiet escape. It was supposed to be a comeback. February was planned as the launch pad for a high-profile Gulf publicity campaign, leading into a controversial March rollout of a new lifestyle brand reportedly titled Ever Arabia. But everything collapsed fast. On February 4th, she was reportedly denied entry, followed by what sources described as a diplomatic cold shoulder from senior royal figures on February 6th. The rebrand plan unraveled in front of global media.
I was scrolling through my feed, and someone who was a friend had this video of the two of them. It was like a Snapchat.
Oh gosh, isn't that whole thing? It started like
with
dog ears.
Dog ears. And
That's what he saw of me. And then she sent me an email saying, I know you said you're single, and a friend of mine asked about you, and maybe you'd like to meet him. And I said, who is it? And she said, it's Prince Has. And I said, who's that?
The timing hurt. Brand momentum in the US had already slowed. Netflix had paused future projects. Spotify ended its partnership. Donations linked to Archewell reportedly dipped to record lows. Dubai was positioned as the reset, a polished image built around elegance, motherhood, and global diplomacy. Leaked planning documents outlined a full Q1 relaunch roadmap, a private women's empowerment roundtable at a Palm Jumeirah resort, teaser collaborations with Dubai fashion houses, B-roll footage for a docu-series centered on reconciliation and personal growth, plus closed-door investor meetings for a candle and home goods line under the As Ever label. It was a full production strategy. But here's where it got serious. None of the reported Dubai activities were registered with the UAE Ministry of Economy or disclosed in visa paperwork. Authorities allegedly viewed that as intent to conduct commercial and media business without proper clearance, a violation of immigration and licensing rules. Entry was denied, and the ripple effect was immediate. By February 5th, a $3 million influencer partnership with Sahara Beauty Group was suspended. A joint editorial shoot with Alba Elegance magazine was pulled. Regional retailer Zen Magis stepped back from fragrance and marmalade negotiations.
Yeah, he's great. He's an interesting guy. He's a prince, but my daughter's been a princess since the day she was born.
In a joint statement, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex said, what we love about podcasting is that it reminds all of us to take a moment and to really listen, to connect to one another without...
Citing reputational concerns. Even a planned March 2nd interview with Al Robia English, designed as her Middle East reintroduction, quietly vanished from the broadcast schedule. She came with a strategy, but without stability One Dubai media consultant reportedly said, "In a region where image is everything, unresolved legal issues, royal tensions, and shifting narratives can turn a public figure into a business risk overnight." And while overseas plans were falling apart, legal pressure reportedly intensified in California. Tyler Perry was said to have filed claims alleging fraudulent asset usage, arguing that his financial support for Meghan and Harry's 2020 security and housing was later used in commercial storytelling without proper permission. If true, that adds another layer of complexity to an already loaded situation. A source close to Tyler Perry claimed he believed he was paying for a temporary safe house, nothing more, only to later see that chapter echoed inside Netflix content. That twist alone raised eyebrows across both Hollywood and royal circles. Archewell, once promoted as a multi-million-dollar blend of charity and media reach, is now reportedly under federal review over donor transparency. In late January, the US IRS flagged unusual expense patterns and overseas contractor payments. At the same time, the UK Charity Commission quietly reopened questions tied to Meghan's former UK-linked charitable efforts. Former staff members from Archewell and even individuals connected to the royal household are said to be cooperating confidentially with compliance investigators. This is no small audit. It's layered and serious. What happened in Dubai may be more than a denied entry. Some insiders say it signals a wider credibility slide. Her global branding push, from lifestyle launches to high-level networking, is now caught in a storm of unpaid disputes, strained alliances, and institutional pushback.
Where Meghan in a beautiful gown and a man in a wedding suit walked down the aisle, and they were surrounded by lots of people. Some people believed that this was actually her first wedding at the age of 18 with Joey Giuliano. This is not the first time when a family member of Meghan Markle is speaking out.
Once framed as a bold voice for women and a palace survivor, the narrative around Meghan is shifting fast. Critics now describe a brand that struggles to stand without royal association. Even Saudi Arabia, once viewed as a possible strategic pivot, is reportedly rethinking quiet invitations. A senior Gulf official allegedly put it bluntly, "She carries media gravity, but not the kind you want near your throne." That quote alone sent international outlets into overdrive. Then came another shockwave. A Toronto-based investigative podcast called The Archive Room dropped a late-night episode on February 6th that stirred global attention. The episode featured a masked speaker widely speculated online to be celebrity chef Corey Ello, Meghan's confirmed partner from 2012 to 2015. While the name was never stated directly, the testimony referenced detailed timelines, apartment specifics, and publicly known elements of their past relationship. Listeners connected the dots fast. Around the 32-minute mark, the digitally altered voice made a claim that reignited old rumors. The speaker alleged first-hand awareness of a sealed 2011 marriage certificate filed in Bibb County, Georgia. The voice said, "She told me once while packing for a weekend in New York that certain mistakes had been handled legally. She used the phrase clean slate." That line hit hard. Online communities immediately tied it to long-standing, unconfirmed claims that Meghan may have briefly married an American businessman, Joe Giuliano, before meeting Prince Harry. Hosted by investigative journalist Lydia Markham, a former Royal Affairs contributor to the Globe and Mail, the podcast surged to 8.3 million downloads within 36 hours. Major outlets in the UK, Canada, and the US ran transcripts and expert panels almost instantly. The scrutiny intensified for Buckingham Palace as analysts dissected every word.
Today in London, well, as you can imagine, the story is plastered all over the newspapers, and it is the topic of conversation around water coolers all over the UK. Some of the tabloids are calling the two the Rogue Royals and describing the move as Mexit. Others say they're turning their backs on the royal family.
The testimony also painted a complicated picture of Meghan's departure from Toronto in August 2015. According to the masked voice, she left for what was described as a short New York trip and never returned to the shared apartment. Communication reportedly ended without closure. Observers pointed out how closely this timeline aligned with her public rebranding period. The account directly clashes with Meghan's previous statements that she had been single for over a year before meeting Prince Harry in July 2016. Legal commentators on BBC Radio 4 and CBC News noted that if a sealed marriage record exists and was not disclosed during official royal vetting, it could raise issues under royal marital disclosure protocols. A senior advisor confirmed that King Charles's legal team has initiated internal record checks across the Lord Chamberlain's office, the Cabinet Office, and the Home Office. The key question: was any non-disclosure or redacted personal history submitted before the 2018 royal wedding? If documents surface, this situation could escalate even further. In response, Meghan's team released a short media statement from Montecito calling the podcast a targeted act of character defamation based on conjecture and unauthorized insinuations. The wording was sharp, but noticeably, there was no formal denial and no legal injunction filed regarding the alleged Giuliano marriage as of early February 7th. That silence spoke loudly online, and within hours the name Joe Giuliano was trending across social media. Then came the viral moment. A video surfaced showing Giuliano briefly approached by reporters outside a Miami cafe. Cameras flashed, questions flew, and though he refused a full interview, he did drop one line that echoed everywhere. "I don't erase people. I once loved her." That single sentence lit up the internet. The 14-second clip exploded on TikTok and X.
An American actress became a real-life princess bride.
A great chat for about an hour.
I left after an hour, and I told him that I had other plans.
I want to see you again. That was when it just hit me. I was like, okay, this girl, this woman is amazing. Is everything that I've been looking for.
Pulling in more than 19 million views in just 24 hours. Hashtags like hashtag Meghan sealed marriage, hashtag Giuliano files, and hashtag Vitiello testimony began trending globally. The palace was reportedly pushed into another emergency round of media containment as speculation surged. Insiders confirmed that King Charles was briefed late on February 6th. He allegedly instructed his team to compile a full dossier. Media footage, interview transcripts, timeline comparisons, and documented inconsistencies across prior biographies. Advisors warned that if any major omission were proven, the crown's credibility could take a hit. As one insider reportedly put it, "This is no longer about her. It's about what we failed to detect." That shift raised the stakes dramatically. Public opinion split fast. Some defended Meghan's right to privacy, others demanded transparency. The noise only grew louder as she remained publicly silent. And then, just hours after the podcast crossed 8 million streams on February 7th, Meghan reportedly launched a calculated countermove from her Montecito estate. Internal strategy notes revealed 4 immediate objectives: weaken Cory Vitiello's credibility through indirect PR pressure, issue legal warnings to curb further mention of Giuliano, reframe her Canadian years as exaggerated rumor, and fast-track a rebranded personal business identity under the Ever trademark. This was not random, it was organized. Gossip columns in the US and Canada suddenly described Vitiello as a fame chaser and opportunist, citing unnamed sources who claimed he felt overshadowed by her rising profile. Later metadata analysis reportedly linked at least one of those columns to LSM Strategies, a PR firm associated with Archewell Creative. That connection raised even more questions. Meanwhile, 2 American morning shows received pre-litigation letters demanding retractions for statements tying Meghan to unverified premarital legal records. The letters cited defamation concerns. Separately, her legal team filed a provisional cease and desist notice with the Archive Room podcast.
About Meghan and Harry, I see that Spotify have dumped, and I can't imagine why, because it was just such riveting audio.
Apparently it did rate well amongst some audiences, but...
I can tell you exactly who it would have rated well amongst, but yeah.
Yes, exactly. So this is Meghan's Archetypes podcast, where she interviews renowned women and some men of influence, like herself. She had a $20 million, well, her and Harry had a $20 million deal with Spotify to put out material, but apparently due to failing to meet,
challenging the use of altered voice testimony without a signed waiver. Legal analysts pointed out that no identity had been officially confirmed in the episode, yet the controversy intensified anyway. Her team also pushed the argument that any content hinting at a sealed marriage, even without directly naming her, amounted to harmful insinuation. Platform X reportedly received more than 150 coordinated takedown requests targeting posts under hashtag Giuliano files. The complaints cited privacy violations, harassment, and manipulated context. Many requests, however, were denied under public discourse policies. Perhaps the boldest part of the strategy was the attempt to reframe her entire Toronto chapter. Internal PR outlines reportedly positioned 2012 to 2015 strictly as a professional growth phase, minimizing personal relationships to brief associations. Former colleagues were reportedly lined up for interviews repeating a clear message. She was career-focused, and her only serious relationship was with her craft. The narrative pivot was obvious. One leaked February 6th email to a Netflix executive reportedly read, "Corey's chapter must be erased. It's not aligned with the new Duchess narrative." That phrase quickly turned into a trending tag, #EraseChapter, symbolizing what critics described as an effort to reshape history during a wave of escalating scrutiny. The digital battlefield was fully active, and every move was being watched in real time. On February 7th, Meghan filed urgent copyright and trademark applications for a new brand, Evermark, covering wellness products, streaming content, skincare, organic beverages, and personal growth courses. The pivot was clearly designed to separate her from the Sussex identity, though legally and reputationally, she remains tied to the crown. Her press release framed Evermark as a forward-facing legacy platform for empowered women, ambitious, polished, and deliberately distancing from royal ties. But the move hit immediate resistance. Sussex Legal UK lodged a formal objection on February 8th, warning that the new brand could confuse the public with the Sussex title. Retailers reacted fast. Whole Foods pulled back from negotiations for her herbal tea and fragrance lines, while Spotify canceled her planned 2026 podcast launch. Variety reported the streaming giant deemed the project no longer tenable for long-term investment. Meanwhile, King Charles's team was briefed on the potential digital footprint manipulation and legal counterattacks.
This is the key bit. They go on to say, "We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen." Now, clearly this is shocking, but perhaps not that surprising for royal watchers. Just yesterday, they were at Canada House thanking officials for the hospitality they were shown during a 6-week trip to Canada, choosing to spend their Christmas in Canada, not at Sandringham House, with the rest of the royal family.
On February 8th, a Privy Communications Council session mapped out the constitutional, financial, and reputational fallout of fully detaching Meghan from the Sussex legacy. A draft, unbinding protocol, Sussex chapter, reportedly outlined website removals, public distancing, annulment of titles and privileges, and visa reevaluations through the Home Office. As one senior official reportedly said, her silence would have been tolerable, but this is resistance through erasure. The Crown does not erase history to soothe discomfort. Meghan's escalating attempts to rewrite key chapters of her past were meeting critical pushback. Public image shields were cracking under legal pressure, first-hand responses, and growing skepticism. The storm intensified when chef Corey Vitiello officially filed a civil defamation suit against Meghan in the Ontario Superior Court of Justice on February 8th. Royal Newswire's legal desk reported the claim alleges Meghan deliberately misrepresented their past relationship to tarnish him, undermine shared history, and portray him as emotionally unstable. The filing referenced her off-camera February 3rd remark calling him a mistake and internal Netflix communications that reportedly stated, "Corey's chapter must be erased." Vitiello is seeking 2.5 million Canadian dollars in damages and an official retraction, stressing that the goal is not money but restoring his dignity. On the same day, Joe Giuliano, long rumored to have been Meghan's first husband, appeared outside a Miami cafe, declining formal interviews but delivering one brief, loaded line, "I don't erase people. I once loved her." The 14-second clip went viral worldwide, airing on major U.S. networks. While Giuliano did not confirm a legal marriage, his appearance was widely interpreted as a subtle rebuke of Meghan's alleged historical revisionism and a hint that he may cooperate with official inquiries. Adding fuel to the fire, 2 women from Prince Harry's past made indirect but pointed social media posts. One wrote, "Some people spend more time deleting the past than building the future," shared 1.3 million times. Chelsea Davy added in a now-deleted reply, "History isn't something you curate, it's something you own." Although Meghan was not named, Commentators widely interpreted these posts as framing her as a revisionist rather than a survivor. By February 9th, major editorial boards shifted their tone. The Times, the Globe and Mail, and the Washington Post published analyses criticizing curated omissions, strategic memory holding, and what they described as weaponized erasure. Meghan's attempt to control the narrative was now facing coordinated public and institutional scrutiny on multiple fronts. A joint segment on Good Morning Britain highlighted the escalating reputational crisis. 3 former palace correspondents claimed the fallout was even worse than the infamous Oprah interview, not just because of public perception, but due to perceived dishonesty toward the crown itself. Commercial consequences followed immediately. Whole Foods confirmed it had canceled 2 upcoming product lines under Meghan's Evermark brand. Spotify quietly announced on February 8th that it was ending all Sussex-related podcast agreements. Meanwhile, King Charles was briefed that public opinion had shifted sharply. Privy Communications polling indicated 61% of UK respondents believed Meghan had deliberately omitted or altered parts of her pre-royal history to manage her image. Skepticism was overwhelming, and the Crown took notice. That evening, the King's Advisory Council submitted a working draft of a full severance memorandum, a legal strategy designed to finalize Meghan's removal from all royal records and benefits. Public outrage and mounting legal pressure accelerated the process. By dawn on February 10th, Meghan Markle was effectively erased from the institutional memory of the British monarchy. At precisely 3:40 GMT, all formal documentation and operational presence linked to her were nullified. The royal family's official website quietly updated her profile. Biography, image gallery, and marriage timeline were removed, replaced with a simple administrative note stating she was no longer associated with official duties. Links to her prior patronages were disabled, and archival speeches and photos were moved to restricted folders for press use only. Later that morning, Princess Anne attended a dedication at the Royal Academy of Military Science. Though unrelated to the controversy, she added unscripted remarks that stunned observers. It takes integrity to stand under scrutiny. It takes courage to own one's history, and it takes truthfulness to earn the right to serve. The uniformed audience applauded, and media widely interpreted the statement as a direct condemnation of Meghan's conduct. Sources noted that Anne was reportedly the first senior royal, aside from King Charles, to publicly allude to the controversy, and she was said to be deeply disturbed by alleged manipulation of royal trust. That evening, King Charles delivered a keynote at the Royal Archives Centennial Gala at Windsor Castle. While framed as a celebration of historical preservation, his words carried unmistakable judgment. We must preserve not just records and facts, but the courage to face them. History need not be edited to make it comfortable. It stands as it was lived and shall not be rewritten for convenience. The audience of historians, archivists, and diplomats immediately grasped the symbolic message. Although Meghan was never named, royal analysts interpreted the remarks as a definitive execution of her narrative. The phrase "history shall not be rewritten" reverberated worldwide. By the next morning, leaked internal correspondence revealed that the Royal Legal Office formally notified the UK Home Office on February 9th, requesting a full review of Meghan Markle's visa status, travel classifications, and all records tied to her royal privileges. Though she remains a U.S. citizen, her previous diplomatic status as Duchess of Sussex, which had allowed participation in international travel programs, was now formally under reevaluation. An anonymous Home Office official stated, "We have instructions to classify her as a private U.S. citizen with no active royal designation." Symbolic yet powerful, this change impacts protocol-driven events like G7 invitations, state funerals, and ceremonial seating. Commercial fallout followed fast. Whole Foods terminated negotiations for Evermark Organic. Netflix shelved her documentary indefinitely, and Spotify removed promotional material for her unreleased 2026 audio series. By February 10th, all her commercial platforms were inactive, and Archewell's press site had been stripped of media kits and event calendars. Meghan was unseen in public for 3 consecutive days, a silence tabloids dubbed the Montecito disappearance. Her team declined all comments, only her attorneys acted, filing an emergency copyright defense for the Evermark brand. According to Royal House Procedure Archives, the last time someone was scrubbed so thoroughly from royal records was during Edward VIII's abdication, but even he retained a page in official history. Palace staff now refer to Meghan's file as fully sealed and archived under a new classification, February 2nd to 10th, denoting permanent royal disassociation. And in a final private instruction before leaving Windsor, King Charles wrote to the Lord Chamberlain, "Closure is not about vengeance. It is about protecting the crown from erasure." With that, the Meghan Markle chapter in the British royal family was formally closed. A historic, unprecedented erasure of a modern royal narrative. If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.